Yo, when will these guys learn? Because the greed in sports is insane to me. Don't ever forget when Odell Beckham Jr. wanted us to drop a tear for him on how hard it is to live. But like, I forgot he said 40 million, 50 million. He even tried to break down the examples like, yo, after taxes, after you pay your sports manager, after I buy Louis Vuitton out, after I buy a Rolls Royce, what am I left with? Like, bad decisions?
Get here and you're like, yeah, I played 10 years in the league. And I always explain this to people, like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, you know, that you have to spend, use,
save,
invest, flaunt, like whatever, however, just being real. I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna give my mama a house, I'm gonna do, everything costs money. So if you spending $4 million a year, that's really 40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, you know? And now you start breaking down the numbers, it's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting 8 million. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and ain't been in the position, like, oh, well, that would last a lifetime. Yeah, this job that I sacrificed my whole life for, they are giving me that. I didn't ask for the certain dollar amount or whatever, but we weren't taught about no financial literacy and all the way. We weren't
talk about it all the time.
We weren't taught this skill.
Make better money decisions. You want us to feel bad for you when people out here struggling to touch $100,000? And you want us to feel bad for a man talking about how hard it is to survive with millions? Get out of my face. Players gotta start living with risk versus rewards. Keep that in mind. Because we see players like Rozier, after playing a great season with multiple teams, even going to Charlotte and doing his thing, being investigated for gambling. Gambling, my brother. Go and play a game, leave the game after 9 minutes due to an injury, and we never see him again that whole season. And then he was being investigated. It's like, brother, it was definitely not worth it. And the hype going around Rozier, that shit died down quickly. Was it worth it? Let me answer that for him, no.
So in honor of Malik Beasley getting indicted, let's watch the last game Terry Rozier ever plays in the NBA. So the one with Rozier is a little different because he just straight up took a bribe to leave the game early. So he's just gonna come out, he's gonna hoop for like 9 minutes or so, and then he's gonna leave the game. So you'll see right here, Rozier will grab his right foot, and then you can see the next possession, he's starting to wobble a little bit. But no worries, he's still moving great. He's rebounding, he's running and gunning, he's spinning and winning. Look at the little fella go, man. He looks great. And all of a sudden, after Brandon Ingram hits his free throw with 3 minutes and 51 seconds left, up, that right foot flares up again. And then a few possessions later, B.I. hits a 3, and we'll go to a TV timeout with 2:26 left in the first quarter. So now we come back from the TV timeout, and the little fella is on the bench. And it looks like he's just chilling. I can only imagine how much is going through his head. And then all of a sudden, with 20 seconds left in the first quarter, pan to Rozier, and it looks like his shoe is untied. And then the next possession, with 12 seconds left, you'll dead-ass see Rozier take his shoe off, and he will hold that right ankle. I mean, this is batshit insane, man. And now we go to the end of the first quarter, and we go to another commercial break. And then in between commercial breaks, this one's gonna be tough to see, but you'll see like 3 trainers or so walk towards the tunnel. And then start of the second quarter, what do you know? Who is nowhere to be found on the bench? Mr. Terry.
Who else? Jonte Porter, the funny looking sibling of Michael Porter. Do y'all remember his issue? And he was like the first one that I remember recently getting indicted and all this going crazy. I heard he's facing 3 to 4 years. He could have faced a lot more, but 3 to 4 years is still dumb. You're not gonna be able to be back in the NBA. No team's gonna pick you up. Was it worth it? Was it worth it?
Forward, Jonte Porter has been banned from the NBA for life, the league announced. The NBA said that Porter provided confidential information to bettors, limited his own participation in games for gambling purposes, and bet on NBA games. So, whoa, just as a pretty significant consequence here, what message is the league trying to send?
That there's not going to be any wiggle room in gambling for players in this league, and not just players, but team personnel. There are lots of people in the NBA, besides players, who have access to a lot of confidential information, and I think the message...
Scandal that got him banned. Developing right now, Jonte Porter, the brother of Nuggets star Michael Porter Jr., pleads guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud in a federal criminal case tied to a betting scandal that got him banned from the NBA for life. In court this afternoon, the former Toronto Raptors player said he agreed to withdraw early from games to get out from under large gambling debts. He also quotes as saying, "I know what I did was wrong, unlawful, and I'm deeply sorry." Porter will be sentenced in December. He faces up to 4 years in prison.
And Malik Beasley isn't new to this. He isn't new to the bad press. As you guys recall, there was a couple years back where he got a felony charge over a weapon, and that was already bad press. And you guys know as much how strict the NBA actually gets over this bad press.
Beasley has had a rough go of it. The Timberwolves player first was sentenced to jail time for pulling a shotgun on a family that was looking for houses in his neighborhood. Then he got dragged for cheating on his wife, Montana Yao, with Larsa Pippen. We can't forget how he also had been arrested but not charged a month prior to the shotgun incident over allegations of marijuana possession and receiving and concealing stolen weapons.
And anything regarding firearms. They were mad at Ja Morant for doing air pistols. They were mad at Ja Morant for throwing grenades. They were mad at Ja Morant for cosplaying NBA Youngboy, if you guys remember, and how quickly they brought that to an end. Now for Beasley to make just yet another bad decision after being a really good player and playing really good, even with Detroit, the Timberwolves, like he's been playing really good. To make a mistake like this just doesn't make no logical sense to me. They're saying he made up to $60 million throughout his career. I get it. That might not be enough for him after hearing Odell Beckham Jr. And throughout your career, he might have burned through it. Okay. But you were up for a contract, and there was rumors that it was gonna be a 3-year, $42 million contract with a player that's about 28 to 29 years old. That could have set you for the rest of your life, if invested correctly. But that was never executed. Why? Because Malik Beasley was indicted by a federal prosecutor. You guys remember my boy 6ix9ine. The only two things he was scared of was Jesus Christ and the FBI. Well, guess who also is gonna have that fear very soon? My boy Beasley.
Players Malik Beasley and Ed Davis and 4 others are facing federal charges in a sports gambling scheme.
So, Diane, prosecutors allege that these men basically took a professional sports league and turned it into a criminal gambling operation. Specifically, Beasley and Davis got to know each other when they were playing for the Timberwolves. When Beasley went over to the Bucks, the prosecutors allege that he basically planned to overperform or underperform in certain metrics, and he passed that information over to Davis, who then shared that with folks who would place bets through either online sportsbooks or traditional gambling operations. This all began, they allege, in January 2024. They listed at least 3 other games where he basically planned to overperform in things like rebounds or underperform in scoring, and then made hundreds of thousands of dollars. They even cite to one text message in this indictment where Davis writes, quote, "The only way you can beat Vegas is through sports betting." And this comes amid this broader probe of illegal sports betting in the NBA.
Oh no, this was a terrible decision. Terrible decision. And it's wild because as soon as they said it, social media started going crazy with the clips, and I'm like, oh no, this nigga might be guilty. Let's keep this, and let me just say this disclaimer now. This is just a legal case. Beasley is not guilty of anything. He is being investigated. Until he is proven guilty, he is innocent. And he's gonna fight, I'm sure, as hard as he can to prove he is innocent. It's definitely gonna be an uphill battle. But I started seeing different clips online because they're saying that he's being charged with fraud, wire fraud, messing with his own stats. And when I started thinking about it, I'm like, nah, I did see a clip when Giannis blocked him and tried to like do that little dance move and he wasn't happy. I'm like, nah, he definitely had his over on threes tonight, brother. He definitely had his over on threes tonight. You might have just ruined it. He ain't here laughing.
Nice little statement. He gave Bees his boogie right back at him. Bees is not.
That boy got the Goodfellas waiting outside. He ain't laughing. Y'all remember that game when his over-under, I think it was against the Clippers, the clip says, that it was over 3.5, and he almost died in that court. He stopped playing defense, offense, and everything just to make sure that he could be Josh Hart for that night and end with his over on rebounds. And that he did with just a couple seconds. Oh my God, the relief. The relief that he must have felt.
Under a rock, Malik Beasley got indicted. So let's watch Malik Beasley throw his NBA career away. All right, so if you live under a rock, Malik Beasley got indicted today. So the indictment mentions 4 games, but I want to circle this one against the Clippers, over 3.5 rebounds. Insane. So Beasley gets his 3rd rebound with 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter. You know it's bad when you're boxing out. Look at that shit! He's boxing out Giannis for the rebound. And the little fella, well, he's not gonna guard anybody. The only thing on his mind is grabbing a rebound, Who cares that it's a 2-point game with 7 minutes left? This guy has no interest, zero interest in playing defense. All he wants is the rebound. So now we're under a minute, and Beasley still needs that rebound. And he's doing everything he can to get that rebound. Whether that means not guarding James Harden, whether that means running into Harden. Look at him here, he wants that board, man. He just can't get it. So now we're down to 24 seconds. Beasley is going to pass this shot up. Pat Connaughton is going to shoot a 3. Beasley from 40 feet out is going to crash the boards. So the Clippers are going to advance the ball. They're going to shoot a 3 here. 14 seconds left, up by 7. And Malik Beasley is going to fly out of the coal mines to get this rebound. And then look at his reaction when this ball goes in. He's like, and then Dame is going to be like, hello? The game is still going on, man. Wake up. It's not my fault. You're going to prison. And then we fast forward. The game is over. There are 8 seconds left. And Malik Beasley is going to get the biggest legacy rebound of his life. And he's going to cash his rebound over with 0.3 seconds.
And it doesn't end there. We've seen him, I'm assuming, betting on overs because no time left in the game. Game's already over. And he makes sure to get that last bucket, running as fast as he can across that court to make sure that he can clear that spread.
Beasley's going to get it off. One last shot. How about Beasley? 21 points.
These things are definitely not going to help you in court. And in the indictment, referencing back to that 3.5 rebound game, I'm assuming that's the one that they're talking about because they did show different examples within the paperwork. They released text messages between Brown and Pasolini, if I'm saying that correctly. I feel like I'm not. Oh my God, he got 1 rebound. What with 1.1 second left, fam? No way, he pushed Cunningham out of the way, laughed my ass off. Show me, dog. Damn, I closed my laptop. I'll try to find it. Ed wants to see it. Contested it and got the board. Bruh. Fam, we were 1.1 second away from being down thousands. LOL. Oh, you're gonna have a lot more to laugh about. What's funny is after he got it, he had a big sigh of relief. And this is included in the paperwork. Like, this is included in his indictment. Oh, this is bad. And you guys know Edward Davis as well, who's in the league. They're saying that he was tied to Beasley and a lot of his decisions and a lot of the gambling that was happening. And we see those text messages released as well, part of the paperwork. The January 26, 2024 Milwaukee Bucks Cleveland Cavaliers game. On or about January 26, 2024, the Milwaukee Bucks played the Cleveland Cavaliers. Approximately 1 month prior to the game, on or about December 29, 2023, the defendant Malik Beasley and Edward Davis communicated via text message. Davis, only way you can beat Vegas is sport betting. Everything else, they got the edge. Beasley, well, yeah, my ninja. Trying to find like 2K. I'll do my best to pay in full on first. You got Snapchat? Not really, why? Talk to you about some S on there. You can't do it here? Better talk on there. We can make some good money. On or about January 25th, on the day before the 26th game, defendant Beasley discussed via text message whether he would underperform on overall points, 3-point goals, and or rebounding. And this is all part of the indictment, so this was included. And again, seeing the videos we're seeing of Halliburton pointing at the floor and my boy walking up real slow, it's like, oh, you're gonna go to the right? I bet. And then just stands right there as he gets blown by, pause. Nah, this ain't looking good for you, bro.
Because he really wasn't in rhythm to shoot it. Yeah, this is
not looking good for you, bro. Even if he happens to beat this, as a free agent with a gun incident, and now sports gambling, remember, when you're watching sports, it don't matter if it's the NFL, MLB, NBA, all we see is Prize Picks, DraftKings, Hard Rock Bets. They're promoting that non-stop. And the credibility of these players actually going out there and trying their best every single night is very important for someone like me and you that works a 9 to 5 and we're not just playing with our money. Like, would you still be open to gamble if you start finding out these players are rigging it so they can win certain things? No, you're not gonna feel comfortable putting your money on the line. So that's why the league is really mad every time that stuff like this happens, because this kind of, contradicts their credibility that all the players are honest and are going out there every single night trying to do the best that they could to win the championship, which is the overall goal. And it alleges that my boy Beasley wasn't worried about a championship. He was worried about hitting that parlay. Oh no, say it ain't so. But again, we're seeing news clips already coming out confirming that Beasley was indicted. Also the paperwork. This is looking really bad for him. I'm not gonna lie to you. And they're alleging as well that the guy that's cool with Jimmy Butler that we've seen a lot before, he's also being indicted. And they're saying that he's a middleman between the players and the bettors. This is all alleged. This is all alleged, but these are things that I am reading online. And I hope Jimmy Butler has nothing to do with this. I hope, which I don't think this would even be remotely smart for him to do. This is not smart for any NBA player to do, but damn sure not Jimmy Butler. And I was shocked. I did not think we'll see Beasley actually talk about this. And it looks like Beasley takes his phone and actually makes a video and uploads it of him discussing himself of what's going on.
The NBA is doing their own investigation now. The FBI has cleared, and you know, as a league, they have to do that, and I respect that. Does it suck for me? Absolutely. I just want to hoop, but any day now. So just stick with it. Stay patient with me. Keep me lifted. I need that from y'all. Either way, I'm gonna be playing this year, so I gotta stay ready. So I gotta get ready, baby.
And you guys tell me by his body language, do you think he's worried? Do you think he's just playing a poker face? Or do you know he thinks he's good? But to blow a $42 million contract for 3 more years over you trying to hit a couple parlays, brother, it definitely wasn't worth it. It definitely wasn't worth it. And actually, we see the guy here. I found the paperwork again. And we see here, United States District Court, Eastern District of New York, United States of America against Malik Beasley, known as Bees, William Brown, Edward Davis, Robert Gordadisky, Ernesto Palencia. That's the man. That's the guy that's cool with Jimmy Butler. So that was the text message we were reading earlier. And then Paulo Zamorano. I just wasn't expecting this level of stupidity. I know we're gonna see a lot more when this case starts. Obviously, they're gonna all do the best that they can to fight for their innocence, but do you guys think it's gonna be enough? Do you really think that even if he gets not guilty and all this, the NBA is gonna accept him back with open arms?
Hi, Jason. Hi, Mr. Beasley. How are you feeling?
He's good. We're going to be very, very quick.
Okay.
Mr. Beasley, he looks forward to fighting, right? He's fought every day. You know, he's presumed innocent, and that has to mean something still, obviously. There's a bigger conversation here about the industry, about individuals and institutions that are profiting billions and billions of dollars and fueling addiction, and a larger, broader conversation that needs to happen at some point. Mr. Beasley respects everyone's privacy. He wants to move on with his life. He's a professional. He obviously has wide family support, fan support, and that's all we're going to say for now. We'll address the rest in court. This is only the very beginning of things. An arrest means nothing. An indictment means nothing. And that has to mean something, right? That he's presumed innocent. Today was a formality, and we look forward to moving on with the case, all right?
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Beasley, do you want to say anything to your fans?
He's not going to right now.
No, that's okay. How are you feeling? Can I get the Sophie Cunningham point? No?
Yeah?
Yeah. Bye, Jason.
Thank you, guys.
How you doing today, nigga? Get off my... No.
Nigga, you on your own dick, nigga. You going federal. Not me, nigga. You.
I'm chilling.
You not chilling, nigga. You just got indicted. How the f chilling?
Somebody save me so you can see me, y'all.
Nah, nigga, we need to have a real conversation, like...
Belt the body. I'm gonna belt the body.
What the fuck, Malik? I'm pissed, bro. You got too much fucking talent, nigga. Like, the fuck? This is not normal, nigga. The fuck you thinking, Leak?
Fuck you
Leak, how many
thinking, my
kids you got,
boy?
bro? What the fuck? No kids?
I got 2. Two, my boy.
I don't know, where's Jontay Porter today, other than he's about to be in probably federal custody for 3 to 4 years. This all reminds me of back in the day. You guys remember, what's his name? Tim Donaghy, that referee that had beef with one of my favorite players of all time, Allen Iverson, because he was talking shit to referees. And he was like, they were saying that they were all not giving him calls and all that. Well, let's just say he was doing a lot more than just that. He was the first person I remember that was like into the mob and all that and betting on games back in the day with like a bookie. And he was a referee that was betting on the games he was refereeing. Like, what the hell? How crazy is that?
James, Jack and Cannon and I, one day he came to me with the Philadelphia Daily News and asked me who was going to win the games. And I looked at the lines in the paper and I knew who was officiating the games. I picked 3 games for him. All 3 won, and he called me up the next day and asked me if it was that easy for me to do it. And I said it was, based on relationships that existed in the NBA with referees and owners, referees and coaches, and referees and players. With that, I was picking games for him, and unfortunately I started picking games that I was refereeing.
And now a late whistle. Tim Donaghy, outside official, made the call late. I don't know what he saw.
I knew that there was a situation where a referee had a problem with a player or was going to take care of a certain player, and it was going to affect the line on the game. Really, it wasn't the money I had. It was just the rush of doing it and the rush of having that information that we would win each time.
How crazy is that? I swear, even though this is all alleged, the Kansas City Chiefs, guy, you got to investigate whoever the hell be whoever be reffing them games, bro, because I'm like, nah, they got to all be in unison. Because whoever got Patrick Mahomes on their parlay, and them referees be giving him calls that I've never seen before. They gave him the same treatment they used to give Brady back in the day. It's nasty to watch. SGA is another one that even if you breathe on him, foul. LeBron, you look at him too long, foul. But this isn't new. This isn't new. It's just insane that we're seeing so many players now being investigated with this situation. Where's this gonna go? We will see for sure in the next upcoming weeks, but it is very hard to beat the FBI. It is very hard to beat the federal prosecutor. Not a state, a federal prosecutor. Let's see what comes from this, guy. Sub up, sub up. Do not forget, we're on that road to 22,000 subscribers.